chapter, I would like to introduce myself. I am Tharsini from Group 5, and also I would like to to introduce my group member as well, Neemesha, Yana, and Isma. Today we are going to talk about differentiate instruction, and I would love to begin with introduction. In the ever evolving realm of education, acknowledging and embracing the diversity among learners has become imperative, and also it aims to create a learning environment that caters to individual needs, fostering inclusivity and maximizing the potential for student success among all the students from, from kindergarten to all to the secondary students as well.
I'm going to present about the ways to differentiate instruction. There are three main ways to differentiate instruction, as we all already know. The first one is content. Content is the input of teaching and learning. This content includes the teaching materials that the teachers use in the classroom, such as the textbooks, exercise books, and any other paperworks that the teachers use. Differentiation through content means to change the content to suit each student's unique learning style, aptitude, and interest. Effective topic diversification starts when the teachers acknowledge that every student comes to class with a varying levels of prior knowledge and readiness level. There is a misunderstanding that when teachers differentiate content, the some students may think that they are getting different contents. That means they are getting different piece of information. But that is a misunderstanding among some students. Actually, when teachers differentiate their material, they are teaching the student the same concept or skill. It's just that the curriculum that they use may vary depending on the student. In order to differentiate instruction, teachers might create activities for students group that address different levels of Bloom taxonomy. Bloom's taxonomy is a taxonomy of intellectual behavior levels ranging from lower order to higher order thinking skills. Bloom's taxonomy was developed to provide a common language for teachers to discuss and exchange learning and assessment methods. There are 6 stages in Bloom's taxonomy. They are remembering, understanding, and applying. All these three belongs to the lower order thinking skills, and in the higher order thinking skills, they are analyzing, evaluating, and creating. The second way to differentiate instruction is the process. To simply put, process is the way a piece of information or a new knowledge is being conveyed to the student. It is also the chance for students to think through the concept, information, and abilities they have been exposed to. As every student has different learning styles, such as auditory, visual, and kinesthetic, the teachers have the responsibility to tailor their instruction to each style accordingly. For example, for the auditory learners, the teachers may play an audiobook which relates to the lesson or subject that they are teaching on that particular day. For the visual learners, the teachers can provide notes with diagrams, pictures, and charts. For the kinesthetic learners, the teachers may let the students work on hands-on project or any science experiments by themselves. Lastly, the teachers may also change the maximum amount of time a student takes to do an assignment. The last way to differentiate instruction is the product. The product is the final project the student produces to show they have mastered the material. The examples for product is assessments, assignments, school projects, or any report writing. The teachers can set them tasks depending on the student's preferred method of learning, which will demonstrate their mastery of a subject. These products will also serve as a valuable representation of the understanding of the student, which simply means that if the students understand a topic better, they will produce a good product. That's all from me. Thank you.
And I would like to continue with strategies to differentiate instruction. In the educational technique known as tiered instruction, pupils are divided into groups according to their competence level, and lessons are then customized to each group. In order to meet the demands of each group, different levels of assignment and product are used to implement tailored education. A teacher may impart new knowledge or provide an example of how to resolve an issue under the instruction scaffolding framework. After that, the instructor may progressively withdraw and let the pupil work alone. It may entail practicing in groups. It's also efficient for a teacher too, and it's very benefit for student as well. That's all, doctor, from me. I'll pass next to the group member.
Strategy for differentiated instruction. Different instruction for English language. By definition, differentiated instruction is instruction that is created to support each student learning in a classroom full of students with different needs and background. Number one is modify the dictionary of terms that you people must accurate. You could make the text simpler in order to get rid of any superfluous word. If you're teaching ELL students to read a classic English novel, you could give them an abridged or simplified version. Number two is provide them with the required vocabulary advance before they begin the main reading. Provide them with extra material like World War predictogram, word sorting or symmetry mapping. Number three is giving them information in a unique manner. Instead of giving students a block of text, you could provide them with the information in a graphic organizer, a timeline, a Venn diagram, or a flowchart can be used. Differentiated instruction strategy format. Number one is line of number. Another excellent visual aid and manipulative for helping students with disability. Differentiated their learning is number. Line for students with severe and profound disability. A number line with movement maker can be helpful. Helpful tool for practicing addition and subtraction. Number two is activity the big board and bag. Students with severe and profound disability can benefit from them simple yet effective manipulative of a counting board with bit to help them learn basic counting and number recognition. There are three different instruction strategy for sign. There are many different strategy for sign, but the main three are is by outcome, by feedback, and by results. Number one is by outcome. By outcome, D is entire assess student ability by analyzing their answer to a particular task and then custom instruction strategy to enhance their learning process. Your prof might extend an activity that gives you the flexibility to choose how you to demonstrate what you have learned as opposed to a task with predetermined result. Pupils are encouraged to demonstrate their intervening conceptual understanding and flexibility. By outcome, we have two example like a multiply template for project, flexible arrangement of research data and finding in a variety of format. Number two is a presentation. Presentation is a student show what they learn through presentation. Example is a speech, display, hand-on or demonstration. By feedback. Here, a teacher offers comment on student to respond task and project in an effort to help them grasp scientific idea better. As a teacher, the teacher may decide to have a conversation with your about grade and go over area where you need help and direction. For instance, if chemistry student are struggle with equation balance, a prof may give worksheet to somewhere breaking down problem into step on their whiteboard. For other student feedback frequently facility learning about a faster and more personal space. By feedback, one-on-one discussion, individual feedback with your teacher offer a more tailored approach and provided insight on specific area of improvement. Number 2 is peer review. Review per assignment enables students to compare and learn from each other, gain new perspective and approach them. By research, this approach assess student ability by analyzing their answer to a particular task and then custom instruction strategy to enhance their learning process. Your prof may assign an activity that gives you the flexibility to choose how to demonstrate what you have learned. As a poise is a test with predetermined result, people are encouraged to demonstrate their inventiveness, conceptual and understanding.
Hi, my name is Nurisma Adani, and I will be presenting my part, which is benefits of differentiated instruction for teachers. So, number one, improve classroom behaviors. In situation when students do their work quickly and with ease, they run the risk of becoming bored and acting out, which result to the other students to be influenced to not be bored and acting out as well. If other students don't have the proper support system in place, they may become stubborn and refuse to complete schoolwork that they find boring or difficult. Second, positive learning environment. Because traditional classrooms focus on a particular kind of learner, students are frequently expected to fit in. The students are expected to with the comply with the schoolwork, with the class requirements, rather than the class meeting their own needs, the students' needs. Students also frequently feel that they have to hide the fact that they are the way they are. But the goal of differentiated instruction is to cater to each student's unique needs, because to its inherent characteristics, this approach prioritizes the celebration of diversity. Number 3, growth opportunities for all. Allow teachers the chance to be creative, consider the subjects from several angles, and develop as teachers. The teacher must come up with fresh strategies to assist the students if they aren't engaging with the lesson because of its style. When the instructor finds a solution, they'll have another resource at their disposal for later use. The teacher becomes a more effective educator as they acquire a variety of tools and techniques to employ. Number 4, encourage activities among teachers. It encourages teachers the differentiated instruction, they encourages teachers to think differently and give new fresh ideas to accommodate different learning preferences. Teachers must continuously modify their methods of instruction in light of continual evaluations of their students' development. And As for the conclusion, planning, carrying out, and evaluating education should all involve differentiated instruction. Finding the right mix between routine, instruction, activities, and assessments is crucial, as is taking into account the requirements of every student. Teachers can establish a more productive and inclusive learning environment that meets the specific requirements of the students through the use of differentiated instruction. With the help of this strategy, teachers may offer each student at different academic levels individualized instruction and support, guaranteeing that every student will have access to a worthwhile and demanding learning environment. And that is all from our group today. Thank you for listening.